Okay, next video is Trapeze and his brother. So Trapeze and his brother looks like this. So far you have learned double or nothing, you have learned the trapeze, and now we're about to learn Trapeze and his brother. Next time we're going to learn 1.5, and with that you have basically learned all the basic mounts, and we can start building on top of things from there. So Trapeze and his brother, what is it essentially? If you want, I think the easiest way to visualize it is thinking of as opposite trapeze from your other hand. So trapeze, actually let me grab a 5A yo-yo. I think this might be the easiest to explain to you. So because the yo-yo is normally attached to your right hand, if you're right-handed, but I'm just going to assume everyone's right-handed, just for this purpose of this video. If you're left-handed, just reverse it, I guess. So it's attached to this finger. You can't really, if you do a trapeze, it goes around, and the whole idea of the trapeze is you have something that stops the yo-yo, and it acts as like a pivot, and it like pivots over it, and it lands on the string. Something to go over. You kind of can't do it with one hand because the string isn't stretched out. But if you had a 5A yo-yo, you could totally do a trapeze on the other side. And that's basically all that's happening with Trapeze and his brother. But the difference is, to get to that side, you're just having your fingers out to kind of stop that string. So your string starts from here, this is where your trick starts, and that's where your trick ends. If you're doing a Trapeze and his brother, you stick your finger up, and now your string starts here, kind of. If you ignore everything that's happening here and just look at the string, then it's like a trapeze. See? It's just like a trapeze. That's the whole idea of Trapeze and his brother. So trapeze, insert the string, and then you can think of it as a trapeze. It's just trapeze on the other side. Obviously, it's not as simple as just trapeze on the other side. It's going to bring up in other complications. But apart from that, I don't think it should be too different to conceptualize. And it should be something that you are getting, fairly quickly. Trapeze and his brother on opposite sides. Just for mini flex and demonstration purposes. Not even really a flex, to be honest. So that's basically where we want to get to. So let's break it down. Let's try and think what's going on. So when we learned how to do trapeze, we learned to do this, hop on and off, hop on and off. This is literally what's happening. But you know when we did trapeze to double or nothing? This is the length of the string coming off the finger to the yo-yo. As you go to double or nothing, you're using this as like kind of a pivot point, and that string length lengthens and shortens. So you're controlling the length of the string by letting the string run over your finger. So it's just the same thing. See, your string's getting longer, string's getting shorter, string's getting longer. Just focus on the length of the string. I'm not trying to necessarily land it. That's what's happening. So the same thing, but it's going underneath. The important thing is just to let it smoothly just glide over your finger. Instead of just having a set length where the string's not really shortening or lengthening that much, just a little minor adjustments. Now you're having to let it swing and adjust its length. So maybe at first it'll be easiest if you can practice this way. So it's a kind of a modification to this practice. Swing, back on the trapeze, swing, back on the trapeze, swing, back on the trapeze, swing. So you're just getting used to manipulating that string length, and that string length from here to there, as it's getting longer and shorter. Longer, shorter, longer, shorter, longer, shorter, and so on. So that's all you're doing right now, just getting used to this nice and smoothly, no rush, swing, back on the trapeze. Okay, oops. So the next part, it's the part that goes on here. So let's break it down and practice it separately. So just so you know, as it comes off the trapeze you do it over your pointer finger, index finger, right? Like this. As it comes over, you just put your, like you do like a peace sign, you put your middle finger out, and then your middle finger catches the string. If that middle finger wasn't there, what would happen is it will just swing freely. But because the middle finger is there, it just catches the string and it becomes like a pivot, as you can see. So why don't we go to that position to begin with, so we have less moving parts. We start putting it all together in a bit. From here, middle finger, you're letting it swing, swing, and then all you're happening is you're putting your index finger out like this, and then you're doing a trapeze on this side. Land, let go, land, let go, land. This is now the first basis for practicing trapeze and his brother. And just like a trapeze, you're running your finger along the string. As it comes up, you're like running it along the string to get it to pop up and on the string. Oops, not like that. So, like this. You're pulling your hands apart ever so slightly to get the yo-yo to, see? Even with a dead yo-yo, it's forcing it. You see where it hit the string? Every time it's hitting the string, if the yo-yo was spinning, it would be landing in the gap. You're opening up your hands to kind of force it onto the string and guide it on. Now, why do we curl our fingers in and have it like this? Same thing as before. If you have it like this, because of where the string is tied to your finger, you have maximum, there you go, you have maximum spacing to land just on the front string. If that string was out, then it becomes a narrower gap or even more difficult. So you might end up landing on both strings or on the wrong string. So just curl your finger in, have it like that on your throw hand. So it'll be like this on the trapeze. Stick your finger out, catch, over, and that's it. Simple so far? So once you think about it as just trapeze on the other hand, it's just a matter of training your hand that's not used to doing the trapeze to do the trapeze. It's really as simple as that. If you're not getting it, it's just because that hand is not really used to the trapeze motion yet. So over your middle finger, clench your fist, keep your pointer finger out, trapeze and his brother. Trapeze and his brother. And remember from how we did from double or nothing, and then we just popped it out like this. All from a trapeze, where you're just popping it off like this. This is the same movement here. Oops. Where you're just popping it off like that. Popping it off. Popping it off. Popping it off. Popping it off. And that's it. Once you can start doing that more and more consistently, then you start to combine the first part of this practice and the second part of this practice together. Just to recap, first part was this, just learning to go on the trapeze and swing, going on the trapeze and swing. The second part was what we did, was after we popped off the trapeze bit, swing on, swing back, back to trapeze and his brother, back to trapeze on his brother, and then now we are going to combine the two and start doing trapeze, trapeze and his brother, trapeze, trapeze and his brother, trapeze, trapeze and his brother. And the practice will look something like this. Middle finger. So start slowly. So start by going over. Oh, I missed. Back over. Okay, that was good this time. Let me try and miss again. Oh, I missed. And then notice which side you missed. Are you missing before the string, or are you missing after the string? So let me show you from this side and try and troubleshoot it for you. So trapeze. Ideally, you want to land on the string. But if you're missing in front of the string, that means your non-throw hand finger needs to be a bit further forward, in line with it, so that it can be on the string. See, if you're coming around, when you're coming around, if your non-throw hand finger is here, it's going to land on the string. If your non-throw hand is a bit further back in relation to your throw hand finger, it's going to land in front of the string, just because the way this line is skewed. Same thing, if you're missing on the inside or landing on the back string, that means your non-throw hand finger needs to be more towards you in relation to your throw hand. That's just a little troubleshooting thing for you. If you're not having that issue, then don't worry too much about it. We'll be learning more about this in more depth when we start doing things like magic drop. Yeah. Just take it slow. When you're ready, that might happen quite a bit, where you end up hitting this string as you try to pop out. That was basically the same thing as when you were in double or nothing. Double or nothing. From here, when you try to do dismount string and you try to pop out this way, sometimes you might hit the top string here and then go, oh shit. It's a little bit like that. It's just a matter of practice and just getting used to avoiding that string. So if every now and then from here you end up, let me try and intentionally hit it, hitting the top string like that and then go, oh no, what's this? Don't worry about it too much, it happens. It will just get better over time. So, but for now, nice and slow. Whenever you're ready, pop out. When you're ready, pop out. And then start getting a bit faster and faster. But when I say faster, it just means, it still means smoothly. You shouldn't like rush that shit. Oops, I think me messing around might have given it a knot. Give me 1 sec to get rid of that. So the ultimate goal for this, which to be honest, you don't need to even get to before you move on. This will kind of over time happen naturally as you start bouncing in and out of trapeze and its brother more often in the future. But just so you know, why am I struggling so much to get this knot out? Just so you know what it's supposed to look like and where you kind of want to go to. You want to kind of be able to bounce in and out of trapeze and its brother so that as soon as you land, you're kind of bouncing back off it. The kind of momentum created by the landing is going to propel it back. So you're literally bouncing in and out of trapeze and its brother. So before you're like kind of like landing, landing, landing. So you're kind of going in and out of trapeze and its brother. Where you want to kind of get to in the end is to bounce in and out of trapeze and its brother. And that's kind of it. But just get used to being able to go into trapeze and its brother. Don't worry too much about bouncing or anything like that. Just go into one after the other at the speed that you're comfortable with. That's really it. Second part of trapeze and its brother, we talked about this earlier. Until now, you have been doing it over your third finger. So you've been kind of doing this kind of motion, trapeze and its brother, trapeze, trapeze and its brother, trapeze. What you'll notice is when you go into trapeze and its brother, your fingers, if you're like this, is now over the third finger. And also, if you land on a trapeze this way, there's that half a twist. Can you see that half a twist in the string? And now it's over your third finger. So if you want to start doing other tricks from there, the double or nothing has that half a twist there and it's over your third finger. And then you just unrolled out because that half a twist, it's in the wrong position and it's over the wrong finger. So sometimes you want to go into trapeze and its brother and carry on with the trick. For For example, say I want to do a trapeze and its brother, and double nothing. Trapeze and its brother, double nothing. That's one way of doing it. Or you could do it this way: trapeze and its brother, double nothing, kind of thing. So to go from a trapeze and its brother, you could bounce back the way you came. This is a little bit like dismount street, if you remember from double nothing. Bouncing back the opposite way you came, and then going back into it. This is kind of what's happening for trapeze and its brother. Oops. My yo was about to die, and it did. That's kind of what's happening here for trapeze and its brother. You're bouncing, you're just going literally in mirror image, the opposite way you came. Now remember, for dismount 2 from double nothing, from here, you took like a shortcut straight into trapeze by dropping all the strings. That's kind of what's happening for this one. So you go into trapeze and its brother, and you're just literally just hopping the yo-yo up and landing on that trapeze. Oops, I can't do it. So you're literally just taking a hop and land on that trapeze, hop and land on that trapeze. So the easiest way to think about it, similar to double nothing. Remember in double nothing we thought about it as there's 2 strings, there's a back string and then the front string. You're literally hopping from the front string onto the back string. With trapeze and its brother, it's the same thing. There's a front string and a back string. You're literally hopping off the front string onto the back string, back into trapeze. In order to do that without the kink, and in order to do that while still being on your pointer finger when you get back into trapeze, you need to use this movement, which is where you hook your fingers in so that it is running along the inside of the finger. If you were to straighten it out, that's no longer holding onto the yo-yo. So it's on the bottom of your index finger in a sense, and then you go into it. And then here, if you land it back onto trapeze and you straighten your finger out, you're back into a regular textbook trapeze, right? How do you do it? Curl, as the yo-yo is going over, you curl and catch. So if you didn't curl, it would just drop. The string would just drop. But before the string drops, as the yo-yo is traveling around the finger there, you want to curl and catch that string. So I think at first, if you want to break this down to exactly how we learned trapeze and its brother earlier for the pointer finger, middle finger trick, we're gonna go from here, across, here, across, here, across. But notice I'm not using my middle finger, I'm just curling my finger in. And then after that, the rest of the motion is exactly the same. Damn, I'm not very good at trying to break this down. Okay, so the rest of the motion is exactly the same. Whether you're doing this with over your middle finger or over your pointer finger, it's exactly the same, trapeze and its brother. The only thing different in the dismount is you pop it up and you land. I managed to cut my finger somewhere. I don't know where. Anyway. So it goes over, trapeze and its brother, and you just hop the yo-yo up. And as the yo-yo is in the air, you'll notice that this finger unravels back into the trapeze. So here, hop. That hop, and so the hop and this is happening at the same time, so it just looks nice and smooth. So from here, hop, oh. From here, hop. So as it lands, you're straight back into that trapeze. That's literally it for trapeze and its brother. Oh, it's raining a lot outside. I don't know how I cut my finger. So that's kind of it. Trapeze and its brother. Trapeze. Final thing you might want to do is from trapeze and its brother, practice practice, instead of going to trapeze, going straight into double nothing. Trapeze, trapeze and its brother, oops, straight into double nothing. So before you're doing trapeze, trapeze and its brother, trapeze, but imagine from trapeze and its brother, instead of going to trapeze, you carry on going all the way around and then double nothing. So it will look something like this. So this is the practice that I want you to get to. Trapeze, trapeze and its brother, all the way around to double nothing. Dismount any way you like. Trapeze and its brother, all the way around to double nothing. Let's try a slightly different dismount. This dismount, trapeze and its brother, oops. Not doing a very good job today. Trapeze, trapeze and its brother, all the way around to double nothing. Trapeze and its brother, all the way around to double nothing. Trapeze and its brother, and so on. You get the idea. That's literally it. Get practicing.